Okay, so let us start today's session. Let's wait 5 minutes, let everyone be join. After that I will start. So let me share my screen and let me know is it visible or not to you. My screen is visible. Okay, so yesterday what we have discussed? We have discussed about laminar flow through two parallel plates, okay, and we have got some equations, 4 equations, isn't it? We have got equation for velocity, okay. So we have got equation for velocity, and after that we have to find out velocity distribution along the plate, okay. Yes, yesterday we have discussed about we have considered a parallel plate separated by a distance t, and then we consider a fluid element A, B, C, D whose length is del x and del y and thickness of the plate is 1, okay. And let me summarize yesterday's class. So we consider a flow flowing between two parallel plates separated by a distance t. So the conditions are there is no variation in the fluid properties in y direction. The plates are infinitely extended in z direction and along x direction. The flow has 0 velocity relative to an adjacent solid surface giving boundary conditions, that is u equal to 0 and y equal to 0 and y equal to t, okay. So can you see in the figure we have two plates, isn't it, and in the fluid element ABCD different 4 forces are acting on the fluid element. These forces are the pressure force P into del y into 1 which acts in the wall AB, the pressure force P plus del P by del x into del y into 1 on the face CD, and 2 shear stresses respectively on the face BC and AD are tau into del x into 1 on the face BC and tau plus del z by del y, del tau by del y, okay, into del y into del x into 1 on the face AD, okay. So if you consider that the flow which is flowing, let us consider that flow is steady and uniform flow. That means there is no acceleration and the resultant will be 0. If you add up all the forces, then after we get del P by del x, del z by del y. Yes, in the velocity distribution diagram, you can see the maximum velocity occurs in the middle of the plate, isn't it? The maximum velocity along the flow direction, it occurs in the middle of the plate. That means when y equal to t by 2, then only maximum velocity occurs, and near the boundary what will happen? The flow is, the velocity is 0, okay. That is why the shape of the velocity distribution diagram is a parabola. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. So, the maximum velocity which occurs in the middle of the plate, and that is denoted by u maximum. So, we have to find out u maximum. How can we find out u maximum? See, u maximum will be if y equal to t by 2, then only it occurs. So, in place of velocity equations, u equal to minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x into ty minus y square, in place of y substitute the value y equal to t by 2. Okay. And after solving, after calculations, ultimately we will get u maximum as minus 1 by 8 mu del p by del x t square. Okay. Very simple. We just substitute a value y equal to t by 2 in equation number 3, which we have got yesterday's class. Okay. So, u maximum will be minus 1 by 8 mu del p by del x t square. Okay. So, what we have to find out? We have to find out the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity. Okay. So, we have already found out what is maximum velocity. Okay. U max, that is given by minus 1 by 8 mu del p by del x t square. Okay. After that, we have to find out average velocity. Okay. Before finding average velocity, we have to find out the ditches along the plate. Okay. So, first of all, let us calculate a small ditches along a strip of fluid. Consider a small strip of fluid and we have to calculate dq. That means small ditches dq. Okay. So, u maximum, you can mark this equation as equation number 4. Okay. Is that clear to you? Okay. So, now we are going to find out average velocity, that is denoted by u bar. Okay. And average velocity u bar is obtained by dividing the ditches q. Dividing the ditches q across the section by the area of the section, and the total ditches q is obtained by considering the rate of flow. Have you understood? Yes, we have got this equation 4. After putting y equal to t by 2 in the equation of velocity, that equation number 3, u equal to minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x into ty minus t square. In place of y, we have to put t by 2, and after that, after calculating, we will get equation for u maximum as minus 1 by 8 mu del p by del x t square. Now, we have to find out average velocity. So, average velocity is obtained by dividing the ditches q across the section by the area of the section and the ditches q. So, dq equal to velocity at a distance y into area of the strip. So, what will be the velocity? You already know, in equation 3 you have got velocity u. So, put that equation and multiply with area of the strip, and area of the strip will be dy into 1. Okay. So, dq will be minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x ty minus y square into dy into 1. Okay. So, after that we have to integrate this dq, small ditches dq from 0 to 1. Okay. Integrate dq 0 to 1, put the value of dq in place of dq, that is minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x ty minus y square into dy into 1, and integrate from 0 to 1. The limit, put the limits 0 and 1, and after calculations you will get the result as, yes, to find out the total ditches, what we have got, we have just calculated a small amount of ditches. Okay. But to find out the average velocity, we have to find out the total ditches. So, how can you find out the total ditches? First of all, we have to calculate the small ditches dq, then integrate it from 0 to t, okay, not 1, 0 to t. So, total ditches integration 0 to t, that means the across the thickness of, across the distance of the plate, that is t, from 0 to t, and after integration you will have integration 0 to t minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x ty minus y square into dy. So, put the limits. I think all of you know how to do integrations, how to put limits, is not it? So, it should not create any problem for you. So, put the value limits 0 to t and integrate it. After integration, we will get the total ditches as q equal to minus 1 by 12 mu del p by del x into t cube. Mark this equation as equation number 5. Okay. So, you have got total ditches as minus 1 by 12 mu del p by del x t cube. Okay. So, after that already we know Discharge equal to given by A V. So, U bar, that is average velocity, will be Q divided by area. Discharge of the fluid system to the area of the plates. So, Q, already you have got the Q value minus 1 by 12 mu del P by del x T cube, okay, and area will be T into 1, because area we have to consider a perpendicular to the paper. So, thickness will be 1 and T is the length. So, we consider that length is unit length, okay. So, that is why the area value is T into 1. After that you will get the equation U bar, average velocity equation as minus 1 by 12 mu del P by del x T square. Mark that equation as equation number 6. Now, you have to find out the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity, which you have already found out U max and U bar, isn't it? So, put the values, put that equations in and find out the ratios. U maximum and U bar ratios will be, after calculation, you will get the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity as 3 divided by 2, okay. Is that clear? If you have any doubt or question, you can ask me or you can write in the chat box. Yeah, so the ratio is 3 by 2, okay. Remember these things. The ratio will be U max by U bar will be 3 by 2, okay. Ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity, we have got 3 by 2, okay. Okay, let us continue to the next topic, that is pressure drop for a given length, okay. Drop of pressure head for a given length. Do you know what is a pressure drop? Pressure drop means, drop of pressure means loss of pressure across a length of a fluid system, okay. So, let us consider two sections of the length L. The sections are 1 1 and 2 2. So, along the section we have to find out the pressure drop. So, let us consider the distance as L, okay. So, after calculating, average velocity is given by, yes, average velocity you already know, minus 1 by 12 mu del P by del x T square, okay, which you can modify to del P by del X equal to minus 12 mu u bar divided by t square. Okay. After that, you have to integrate it with respect to x. That means with respect to along the length of the pipe or plate. Okay. So, you know what is a pressure drop? When the fluid flows through a pipe, there will be a pressure drop, and this is as a result of resistance to flow. Pressure gain due to any fluid head that is aided by a pump. So, pressure drop is actually called pressure loss, that is a decrease in pressure as measured between 2 points in a flowing fluid system. This means that the valves is not solely responsible for pressure drop. Flow rate determines the pressure loss. Okay, and to calculate the pressure drop, we have to consider two cross sections along the length. Suppose the cross sections are 1 1 and 1 2. P1 is acting in the cross section 1, P2 is the pressure acting in the cross section 2. So, difference will be P1 minus P2, and that will be equal to L, length. Excessive pressure drop will result in poor system performance and excessive energy consumption. Generally, we know pressure drop is related to energy loss. Okay. If some flow restrictions occur in a fluid system, then there is another higher needed of pressure. If there is a high pressure drop in a pipe, then the pipe is too small for the flow. It was cheap to install, but it will cost more to pump water through the pipe over time. If there is a low pressure drop, then the pipe is bigger than needed for the flow. Okay. So, let's come to the equations. So, integration we have to do from P1 to, so let's, y is the x-axis, y-axis, y is the y direction, and x is the x-axis showing from with respect to which we have to integrate the above equation del P by del X. Okay. So, we have to integrate from 1 to 2. Okay. 1 to 2 means from cross section 1 to cross section 2, we have to find out the drop of pressure. So, after modifying the above equation, we will get integration of 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 del P equal to integration of 2 to 1 minus 12 mu u bar divided by t square dx, where we have to write dx as x1 minus x2. Okay, dx is x1 minus x2. So del P is given by drop of pressure head, and that is given by P1 minus P2 equal to 12 mu u bar divided by T square into x1 minus x2, which is given by L. Okay. Okay, so let's consider this equation. Del P by del X, dx will be come to right hand side of that equation if you consider dp only, and we have to integrate the term dp only. Okay, del p only. Yes, if you consider these two sections, then the difference of this length will be x1 minus x2, isn't it? X1 plus L equal to x2, isn't it? So L will be equal to x2 minus x1. So put in place of x2 minus L1, you can write L also. Okay. So ultimately the equation will be P1 minus P2 equal to 12 mu u bar divided by T square L divided by T square. Okay. Is it clear to you? We have to find out the drop of pressure head along a length, along any cross section of the length. Is it clear to you? Any doubt? Please note it down. So in place of L we have x2 minus x1 because L equal to x2 minus x1 from the figure, isn't it? So, we have taken L, we have taken x2 minus x1 as L. So, P1 P2 will be equal to 12 mu u bar L divided by T square. Okay. Now, what will happen? The pressure drop generally dependent on two terms. One is the acceleration due to gravity, and another term is density of the fluid. Okay, the pressure, that is the resistance to flow, generally depend on density of the fluid and acceleration due to gravity, that is given by rho z. So, if we divided both sides, this equation, if we divided both sides by rho z, then we will get HF equal to, HF is generally denoted the pressure head. Okay, drop of pressure head is denoted by HF. Okay, so HF will be P1 minus P2 divided by rho z equal to 12 mu u bar L divided by rho z T square. Okay, so this is the equation of pressure, drop of pressure head. Okay, so this is the equation of drop of pressure head along any length in case of laminar flow. Rho is the density of the water and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, is this clear to you? Yes, this pressure drop actually affects the flow rate. Okay, at double the flow rate, there is 4 times pressure drop. Okay, so if we increase the pressure drop, the flow rate will be increases. So, pressure drop can be defined as the quantity of line pressure, which is in case of fluid. So, there is a small difference between head and pressure. Okay, with different specific gravities, the same height. Pressure instead of is fluid dependent and is affected by liquid density. In fact, the force of a fixed height column over a fluid will change with different specific gravities. Okay. Yes, we have to minimize this pressure drop. If it is increases, then it will create head loss. We can say head loss, okay, in a pipe flow. So, how can we minimize? We can minimize by properly design the distribution system, maintain air filters and dryers to reduce effects of moisture such as pipe corrosion. Select after coolers, separators, dryers and filters that have the least possible pressure drops for the rated conditions. Okay. And flow rate, that is discharge, is related to this pressure head. Okay. How can you relate discharge, that is flow rate, with this pressure? For example, if the pipe size is reduced, the velocity will increase and act to decrease the static pressure. If the flow area increases through an expansion or diffuser, the velocity will decrease and result in an increase in the pressure. Okay. So, have you understood what is pressure drop, pressure head, isn't it? Okay. So, it is also called head loss. Pressure loss means head loss. That is, head loss or pressure loss represents frictional flow resistance. The head loss from friction is related to the velocity energy of the liquid. Okay. Can you proceed to the next slide, or you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt? Okay. This rho is the density, okay, and pressure drop is pressure is related to density, isn't it? So that's why we have to consider rho and z. Generally, pressure drop is nothing but the difference in total pressure between 2 points in a pipe network. Okay. So, pipe pressure drop formula, we can find out with this equation. Okay. Okay. There may be pressure gain or loss due to a change in elevation between the start and the end of a pipe. This overall pressure difference across the pipe is related to a number of factors. For example, friction between the fluid and the wall of the pipe, friction between adjacent layers of the fluid itself, friction loss as the fluid passes through any pipe fittings, bands, valves or components, pressure loss due to a change in elevation in the fluid, pressure gain due to any fluid head that is aided by a pump. So, to calculate the pressure loss in a pipe, it is necessary to compute a pressure drop, usually in fluid head. For each change in pressure, we have to calculate the pressure head, that is the pressure loss, and it is given by HF equal to P1 minus P2 divided by rho z equal to 12 mu u bar L divided by T square rho z. Okay. Where rho is the density of the fluid, g is the acceleration due to gravity, u bar is the average velocity, T is the thickness of T is the distance between the two plates. The head loss or pressure loss generally represents the reduction in the total head or pressure of the fluid as it flows through a hydraulic system. So, head loss represents a loss of energy. It does not represent a loss of total energy of the fluid. So, up to this everything is clear. Okay, if you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask me. May I proceed to the next slide? All of you write down the steps to find out pressure, drop of pressure head, HF. Actually, these are very lengthy deductions. Okay. Okay. So let's move to the next topic, the shear stress distribution. That means in yesterday's class we have discussed about shear stress diagram. Okay. So in the velocity diagram, as I have shown, we have I have also drawn the shear stress distribution diagram. Okay. So from Newton's law of viscosity, I think all of you familiar with Newton's law of viscosity, isn't it? It is generally related to shear stress. So from Newton's law of viscosity, we have tau equal to mu del u by del y. Okay. So here we have to put u equation in place of u. Okay. So put the value of u in place of u in this equation. Value of u means equation of u, equation of velocity, the equation 3, which you already got in yesterday's class. Okay. So mu del of minus 1 by 2 mu del p by del x ty minus y square of del y. Now this term we have to differentiate with respect to y. After differentiation we will get this value. So I think my meeting is about to end. All of you write down your enrollment IDs in chat box. I will discuss about this topic in the next class.